Dear brothers and sisters, we are experiencing a very unique season of Passiontide this year. As we are beset with the ongoing global migration of the coronavirus, COVID-19, it is prudent for our church to make cautious steps during this time of uncertainty. We remain resolute in faith and trust in God's providence and guidance in this situation, and abstain from reactions that could diminish this confidence. Especially in trying times like these, the spiritual care and strength that is provided at God's altar and by the community of believers takes on special meaning and value. I reiterate that the Church's policy remains one of care and concern for the well-being of our members and ministers. It is prudent that we together continue to monitor the government authorities' guidelines, such as the CDC, regarding our conduct during this situation. In addition, various states have taken additional local measures in response to specific circumstances. At this point in time, please consider the following. If you or anyone whom you have been in contact with are developing and suffering from any kind of flu-like symptoms, we recommend refraining from attending church activities for a minimum of 14 days to ensure that you do not suffer from a coronavirus-related illness. This applies in particular to our ministers and is as much for your own protection as for that of your brothers and sisters. According to the currently available information, our senior members are especially at risk, and we understand their concerns. It is each member's personal decision whether to continue to attend services or other large public gatherings for that matter over the next weeks. If you decide that your personal situation warrants a temporary discontinuation of your divine service attendance, please notify your rector via a call or email. I have asked the apostles to suspend any major gatherings for the next 2 months. If you decide not to attend services or they have been canceled, access to live services on NAC-USA online will be temporarily available on the website for all. In such circumstances, the celebration of Holy Communion will not be possible. You can find more information on how to watch or dial in to live services on nacusaonline.org. As already indicated in our last announcement, local congregations should continue to implement heightened measures for sanitation. For example, making hand sanitizer bottles and bleach wipes available throughout the church and the bathrooms. As a protective measure during this time, the priestly ministers will wash or sanitize their hands before the service and/or before serving Holy Communion in an unobtrusive, non-disruptive manner to preserve the holiness of the celebration. At this point, I encourage you to limit physical contact in our greeting and respect the preference of each other. Even though initially awkward, a nod, a wave, placing your hand over your heart, and the true eye-to-eye connection can be ways to recognize and greet each other during this time. Naturally, more than ever, we should all respect sufficient personal space. At least for a season, the current situation will impact our congregational life and interactions. Please use care and common sense and follow the established guidelines from the public authorities with regard to planned meals and gatherings. Most importantly, as specific locations around our country deal with this situation, please closely monitor and follow your local health authorities' guidelines. I ask that the local rectors stay in contact with their district leader and apostle as adjustments have to be made. Any decision to cancel services will be regularly reviewed and amended as appropriate. All of us are called upon to live and act by the commandment to love our neighbor, especially during these times. Please reach out to each other, especially seniors or other housebound members of your congregation, by phone or other suitable means, to check in on them and assure them of God's care and our prayers. Let us also remember in prayer those who are afflicted with the virus, as well as their families, and the many affected by this difficult circumstance. And so, dear brothers and sisters, let us embrace the assurance that the apostle wrote to the congregation of Corinth. We are hard pressed on every side, yet not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Struck down, but not destroyed. Always carrying about in the body the dying of the Lord Jesus, that the life of Jesus also may be manifested in our own body. This word becomes ever more relevant as we experience this season of Passiontide. Let us remain secure in the promise of the Lord Jesus. And lo, I'm with you always. Joined with our apostles, I greet you from our chief apostle with love. Thank you.